Rent is up again. It hit a record high in January, according to data released by Rentals.ca and research firm Urban Nation. The average asking price in the country in January was nearly $2,000. That's up 10% from this time last year. At 17%, Edmonton saw the biggest jump, but Vancouver remains the most expensive city to rent in. A one-bedroom unit there will set you back nearly $2,700 on average. Burnaby, BC is close behind, and Toronto is the third most expensive city. Well, to talk more about these rising rent prices across the country, we're joined by Tom Davidoff. He is the director of the Centre for Urban Economics and Real Estate at the University of British Columbia and joins us tonight from Vancouver. So, Tom, are you surprised that the average rent prices hit another record high?
No, we've seen a high degree of immigration. We've got lots of household formation on the part of the millennials, and tough to buy a house these days, so people aren't graduating into home ownership.
You know, some justify the rent increase saying that cities like Toronto are becoming world class, so it's reasonable they reach London or New York level prices eventually. But we're also seeing prices go up in smaller, rural, more remote communities. How do you square that circle?
Well, some of that could be lingering work from home. It could be escape the expensive cities and go to the cheaper parts of Canada. You know, a lot of our price growth and rent growth is driven by immigration. Immigrants are inherently mobile people. So if you have markets where you can find amenity and a good wage, but lower prices, nature abhors a vacuum, and we should see reasonable equalization of overall quality of life across cities.
When it comes to regulating the housing crisis, there's a lot of emphasis on home buying. What needs to be done to make sure our rental market is more affordable?
Well, over time, there's really two important things. Number one, of course, is some households aren't going to be able to afford market rents no matter what, and they need income support. But for everybody else, what's needed is more homes. Our fundamental problem is too many people chasing not enough homes. The good news is the federal government, the provincial governments, and a lot of municipal governments have gotten the message and recognize we can't have single family detached home ownership dream everywhere because, that's just not an affordable product. We need more apartments and townhomes, and we're making decent progress there.
You know, we also learned that Canada is seeing the lowest national vacancy rate on record since the Canada Mortgage and Housing Corporation began tracking that data in 1988. How does that play into rent getting higher?
Yeah, too many people, not enough homes. That's the fundamental issue with high rents, and we're getting an influx of population, not enough supply growth catching up. And so too many homes, not enough people. That leads to very low vacancy rates.
I know one of the solutions that they're looking at in British Columbia in particular is co-op housing. What do you make of that as a potential solution here?
Yeah, you know, if you have forms of ownership that haven't been done elsewhere very much historically, that's likely for a good reason. I think home ownership works. I think purpose-built rental housing works. The secondary rental market where people rent out condos or townhomes seems to work pretty well. The fundamental problem is too many people, not enough homes. I think we can get distracted and think about creative out-of-the-box solutions, but we've got to solve that problem, need more homes, and some people just need some income support.
The average asking rents across the country skyrocketed by 20% since January 2020. What do you think the biggest influence was on that?
Yeah, number one, immigration. Number two, we've got a big generation full of people still forming households. Lately, rising interest rates make the affordability of purchasing a home sort of out of the question for a lot of people. And over the next couple of years, it's going to get worse as construction's been slowed down with high interest rates. So not a great looking next few years in terms of rental affordability.
Okay, that's not the most optimistic outlook, but we'll take it nonetheless. Tom, appreciate
what do you
the time.
get for having on an economist?
Exactly, right? Tom, appreciate the time this evening. That is Tom Davidoff, the director of the Centre for Urban Economics and Real Estate at the University of British Columbia.